Mahabharatam dharma adharma sangharshanam pakshi prani manava cha deva dharma adharma panchalika Jnana prabhasita divya jivam Sarve sarva maha amritam Sarve sarva maha amritam Bharatam
You know, it is a part of the tradition that anywhere, if you want to create the right kind of atmosphere, the first thing that you do is light a lamp. Yes? Of course, because of all these problems that we are having, our nails are long and it's polished. We can't do this, so we put an electric light. But those of you who light a lamp, how many of you light a lamp every day? Whoa, whoa, good. If you light a lamp and simply be there, don't believe in any damn god, just light a lamp and sit there. Does it make a difference? It need not be dark. It need not be visual aid, but do you notice it makes some kind of a difference? Because the moment you light a lamp, once the flame is on, around the flame, not the flame itself, around the flame, a certain etheric sphere will naturally happen. So where there is an etheric sphere, there communication will be better. So you want to talk to God, you want to create the ambience first. Create a certain amount of etheric sphere and then talk to Him. Without it, you talk to Him bouncing back from the wall. How many of you have sat around a campfire in your life? You will see stories told around a campfire always have the maximum impact on people. The storytellers of the yore have always understood this, that stories told around the campfire are always the most effective stories. Receptivity will be at its best. We will create a situation that you are at the best of receptivity, both for the story and for the atmosphere that we will create around here. For this, we will go through a certain meditation. Hopefully, if time permits, we want to do this every evening so that it builds up that etheric content around you. If you're meditating enough, it will get taken care of. Fire is of different kinds. Life is fire. It's the fire of the sun which is life here. That fire can manifest in the system as Jataragni. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? If you are hungry, that is Jataragni, the fire of the belly and the fire of the groin. If Jataragni is on and if this is fulfilled, only then the groin fire will burn. One who has not eaten is not bothered about sexuality. Only one who is eating well is concerned about these things. So these are the two same things. This is called as Jataragni. If you transform this, Agni means fire. If you transform this, it can become Chitagni. You became intellectually sharp, suddenly you have lost interest in sexuality, food, and everybody is interested in what's cooking, who is going there, who is going here. You are not interested because your intellectual fire is on. Have you noticed this? At least in somebody. So this is known as Chittagni. Once Chittagni is on, you will have to remind them when to eat. You have to remind them, you're married, man, your wife is waiting, you better go home. Should I? Just one more thing. Because Chittagni is on. This Chittagni can be transformed into Bhutagni. Bhutagni means elemental fire is on. A yogi is on elemental fire. You have heard of yogis going underground and being buried for some time, breathless, heartbeatless, yogis consuming this, that, consuming mercury, consuming venom, all these things, just to show off that they're yogis. Because if you are not, you will be dead. Unless your Bhutagni is on, you can't play with the elements. There is something else called Sarvagni. We will not go to that right now. These three dimensions, Jataragni, everybody has to some extent. Chittagni, if it becomes intellectually on. Intellect is like fire. If it's on, it's really like fire, it lights up your space. Do you see, even in the comic books and other things, somebody got an idea like a light bulb. Because when the intellectual fire is on, suddenly there is light. You can even make it heat because the fire is on. Now, if you have the elemental fire on, it is cool, but it's as hot as the sun. This is cool fire. This is of a different nature. Once you know the elemental fire or the Bhutagni, you have mastery over the life process. You will choose how to be born, how to live, how to die or not die. Here in Mahabharata, you will face these three kinds of people. People who are just burning immense Jataragni, wanting to eat, wanting to possess, wanting to copulate, wanting to conquer, immense Jataragni, big people. And you will find some other people with phenomenal Chittagni. Their intellect is such, they're able to see things that nobody else can see right now. Their intellect is such that they're seeing things what people will see 1,000 years later. What ordinary people will see 1,000 years later, they're seeing it now because Chittagni is on. There are other people who have Bhutagni, who have complete mastery over their life. When to be born, how to live, when to die, even the very choice of life and death has come into their hands. These three types of people you will meet, don't judge them. All of them have a role to play. It is just that, along with the story, I would like you to make the use of this opportunity. If we can transform this Jataragni into Chittagni, Chittagni into Bhutagni. So we will do a simple… Now these days whenever I say simple, people are looking at me disapprovingly, okay. You say simple and then you say… Okay. A basic form of Bhuta Shuddhi, which can bring a certain amount of Bhutagni into you. The beauty of having Bhutagni in you is, if you are on Bhutagni, on an elemental fire, you don't have to light a lamp in your life, you don't have to do a yajna or a homa, you don't have to worship, you don't have to enter a temple. I'm not saying you should not, I'm saying you need not. Because once the elemental fire is on, your existence itself, you will see Krishna moving and playing between these three things. When he wants to be Jataragni, he is all out Jataragni. He eats and fights and laughs like nobody else. When he wants to be Chitagni, he is totally that, a visionary beyond compare. When he wants to be Bhutagni, he is absolute about that. So he will play all the three fields. I want you to at least touch all the three fields a little bit at least. Shall we make an attempt?
Mangalam, Agni Mangalam, Vayu Mangalam, Gagana Mangalam, Surya Mangalam, Chandra Mangalam, Jiva Mangalam, Jagata Mangalam, Deha Mangalam, Mano Mangalam, Atma Mangalam, Sarva Mangalam, Bhavatu Bhavatu Bhavatu, Sarva Mangalam, Bhavatu Bhavatu Bhavatu, Sarva Mangalam, Bhavatu Bhavatu Bhavatu.